Got your ears on? Nice! Oh, baby, this is nice. What did I just do? Breaker, got your ears on? Breaker, got your ears on? Nobody yet. Caution, video makes sudden stops. So, this might make a real quick stop. I don't know. I don't know. How are you guys doing? Let me see. I hadn't been on StreamYard in a long time because I haven't. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. Uh, I like this one better. Really, I do. But I have an account with them, and I wasn't using it. I hope you can hear me. Let me see. I'm going to see if I could go into settings and get the front camera, the audio. Like, can I hear? Yep, I can hear myself. Okay, orient setting are disabled. Okay, I'm good. Hey, I'm getting better at this. I haven't done this in a long time. It's getting hot. And little Miss Muffin over there she's out. Well, I'm Dodie and this is Dodie's page. Also, the light. So you guys are probably, if you guys see a rerun, you'll see my cool little intro. That I forgot about the intro. Okay, how do I get to the comments? There they are. Hey Joe, Razaska. Well, hello there, my beautiful goddess. How are you? Have a few minutes in between cleaning my necklace house. How's your day? My day is fine. Actually, she just like heard something. I had a load this morning, but they canceled out on me because I put a stop to it. I usually can take overweight loads. This one they were throwing on like an extra 1,000 pounds on me. And it was 82,000 pounds. And, on the contract, on the email, the agreement was 400 pounds extra, but they were trying to throw an extra 1,600 pounds on there, on my truck. And so I thought, if I do that, then I'm going to go through these scales through Oregon, Utah, Idaho, Oregon, Idaho, Utah, and then Colorado. I don't know if I got the permits for those. So hold on, let me check. Do I have the permits for those? So, well, you know what I did? Um, I called my dispatcher, and yeah, because I would have taken it, but I wasn't going to pay for the permits. Like, I'm not going to pay for permits if I need permits because that wasn't on the, the beginning contract. So for me to pay permits and for me to be overweight, because if I would have been overweight, then I would have been fine. I would have just been like 400 pounds overweight, and I could fluctuate that with the fuel, just run uh, like on low fuel when I go through ports. I've done that before. But no, uh, I needed, what do you call it? Permits to go through Oregon and um, Utah and Colorado. That's 3 permits. I told them, well, I'm not paying for permits on these. I'm not going to do that. So she says, okay, let me talk to them, but don't worry about if you're going to pay for permits because we'll get those in the contract. I guess the broker didn't want to pay for the permits because there was another driver right behind me was with D&E Transport, and he had a truck like mine. His was a 389. I always thought those trucks were heavier, but mine was like 1,500 pounds heavier than his is because his is a new truck. And so they loaded him, same company, but they didn't want to load me because mine is heavier. So 10-4, Amazon says 10-4. This here is Rubber Ducky. Come on. All right, Amazon's here. How are you doing? Um, I can't give any because I'm on StreamYard, so I can't give any. What do you call those? Blue wrenches to help me work on my truck. But when I go that on YouTube, then I can do it. But I'm on YouTube on Doty's page, but this is through StreamYard. So I don't know how they do that, but anyway, I'm here. See, I still got my yellow vest on. Anyway, uh, I see you read the title. And I forgot how to spell caution, so I just put cousin. Video makes sudden stops. I don't know if it's going to happen with this one or not. Are you hot, Abigail? I'm kind of hot too. There, see there, she's right there. She's like, uh, 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 uh. uh, how are you guys? It's 4 p.m. Oh my God! I didn't even know it was that late. Well, I'm in Portland, Oregon, and I have never been to this truck stop. I don't have the way to flip the camera. I can't do it on this. So I'll just show you. I don't know what I'm showing, but I'm at a truck stop as usual. And I'm going to turn my CD off. I don't want to run down my battery. But yeah, I was thinking, okay, I got to get this StreamYard stuff because I'm paying for this one. And this is already, it comes out every month. So like, I got to start using this one instead of the other one. I don't pay for YouTube, so I get a lot of commercials. I think that's why they don't really like me there that much. I'm 2 hours south of Eugene. Oh, really? Yeah, that's right. You said you're in Oregon. Well, I was thinking today was Thursday because I told my dispatcher, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just take some time off and go check out my land in Klamath Falls. Because I haven't even seen my land yet. I bought 3 acres. It's in the mountains, beautiful, but I haven't been there. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I bought it through the internet. And I wanted to go check it out. And so did she. She wanted to go check it out too. But I was thinking, well, I'll just take the time off and go. But my dispatcher says, oh, well, don't worry about it. I'll see about getting you a load going to Southern Oregon. So that's what he was looking at. But let me see. He's probably already done gone. Oh, yeah, it's 6 o'clock in Minneapolis. They stop working at 5. So I'm going to be here for the night till tomorrow. And after that, if they don't find me nothing, I'm just going to take the weekend off. It'll be, what? Oh my God, basically almost a week. And just be ready on Monday. But I will be enjoying myself, trust me. And going to go check out my land. You know, I'm like less than 300 miles away. I could do that. Thing is, if I get out of this area, I don't know when I'm going to be able to come back up this area. That's why I'm thinking, I don't mind just sticking around here for a little bit. Although I don't have my pickup. But that's a good thing because I got to go get my pickup, empty out my 2 storages, put them in I got a truck, I know, but I'm thinking of buying me like a little box trailer and put everything in there and my Harley in there, because I could put my Harley in the back of my truck and all my goodies, my little furniture and tools that I got in the little box trailer, and bring all this stuff because what do you call it? The storage unit, they're cheaper in Klamath Falls than what I'm paying. They're like maybe half price or a third cheaper. So like, yeah, I'm gonna bring all my stuff up here. I-5 is the only crappy part of Oregon. I used to go on I-5 all the time for years and years because I was working out of Carson, California. So I was always coming up on I-5 and Highway 99. Highway 101 is my most favorite highway, but I haven't been on that road in a long time. But yeah, I-5, I don't know how it looks now, but before it was just an ordinary highway to me. Anyway, are you a truck driver, Amazon? Let me know. Are you driving, or are you Joel Rezakasa? Yeah, you got a blue wrench. I remember you. Amazon, you'll probably get one too. But I can't do it on this one. So next time I go on live on this one here, which might be tonight, I might go live on that one tonight. But I thought I'd try this one out and do it that way. So yeah, if you come on later tonight, I'll give you a bluey so you can help me work on my truck. Hey, I need some payback. You get something, I get something, right? Anyway, yeah, I got my reflective yellow PPE vest, whatever, and 419. You said 419. Okay. Anyway, this is just going to be a little short video because I was just testing it out, and hey, it works. How's the audio? Is it sounding okay? Because I opened the door, so now there's a little bit of background. And there's 2-4. Hey, 2-4. Haven't seen you in a long time. Um, yeah, you got your CB working real good because you're way out there, like up there in Canada, Canada land, the east part of Canada land, right? I believe. Anyway, how have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time. I thought you were one of these other uh, people that were mad at me because I changed my phone number and because, uh, well, yeah, because I changed my phone number. So some of the people can't get a hold of me anymore. Well, I don't want to keep getting, not that you have my phone number, but some of the people, they're mad at me. I don't know why. Who would be mad at me, right? I'm a sweetheart. I'm a sweetheart. See, I bite. Abigail doesn't bite. She's more of a sweetheart. But anyway, how are you two for Amazon? So what's the strangest thing you've ever seen on the road? Boy, that's a big question. I don't know the strangest thing. I've seen a lot of stuff though. Um, I'll tell you one, it's a sad one, but let me read you for it. Busy with the campgrounds. Sorry, I've been absent. Oh, you don't gotta be sorry. I know we got our own thing. All this is fun and games, you know. I'm not making no money yet. Uh, I got a lot more followers though, and like Amazon, he's one of them, and so is Joel, and I don't know who else is in here. But anyway, the strangest thing I've seen, I'll tell you about an accident that comes to mind. I know I was up there in Ohio or Michigan or something. Besides, Michigan is not my favorite state. That's my least favorite state to go is Michigan. I just don't really like going up there. But anyway, I was driving and it was a nice day and stuff. And the highways were, I don't know what interstate it was, but 2-lane highway, 2-lane highway. And there was a big medium. It was like far away, you know, in the middle. And in front of me, there were I could see the police lights and ambulance lights and stuff. So I knew there was an accident. Well, as I got closer, I noticed that it was a flatbed. This whole cab, like the windows from the dash and the doors, like on down, all the cab part was missing. I mean, the top part, it's like a convertible windshield and everything was gone. And what had happened was something happened that his load came sliding forward, and what he had uh, were steel I-beams. You know, the iron workers use for building. My dad was an iron worker, man. So they're the I-beams, you know, shaped like an eye, but they're steel and they're long and they're extremely heavy. And they were thrown all over the truck. They were on top, but there was no top part of the cab. So I don't know if that guy survived or not, but that was sad, you know. It was a day runner truck. It didn't have a sleeper, and I to this day I hope that guy was okay. But that was like a long time ago. Um, but yeah, anyway, I'm doing okay myself. And Abigail, she's a little bit on the toasty side, but she's all right. Abigail. And see, that's her seat. And we're just kicking back right now. Yeah, that it was horrific. Um, there was, I mean, there was, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happens on the road. I'll tell you a funny thing with a lot lizard. I'm sitting in my truck like I am now, right? We didn't have any, there was, this was a long time ago, like 10, 15 years ago. And I'm sitting in my truck. I don't know what I was doing. It was dark. I drove in. I didn't back in. So I drove in like that. And so I'm like facing the fence. And this, it was raining. And I'm just sitting in my truck. And the all of a sudden the door opens. And this girl just jumped in, sat right next to me, sopping wet. And, you know, she like opened the door, jumped in, and closed the door. And I'm like, you know, just like, like, oh my God, like, where'd you come from, right? She says, hide me. She tells me. And I like, are you okay? She says, yes, they're, they're trying to, they're trying to catch me. Hide me, please. And I told her, okay, yeah, you're safe here. You know, don't worry about it. Just keep the door closed. And she like, with her hips, it's like, you know, and like I got one cheek on the seat and she has one cheek on this seat and we're both sitting shoulder to shoulder. She was something like that. And that was a funny one. I still remember that. What's up, Matt? What's up? Anyway, for art, well, for art, truckers always seem to experience supernatural and paranormal stuff at some point. That's kind of what I was getting at. No, you know, wherever I go, I know I'm safe. I've always had faith. I've always, as you know, I'm a warrior of light. Everybody knows I think everybody knows I'm a warrior of light. I have never experienced a girl jumping into my passenger seat. She didn't jump in the passenger seat. She jumped in the driver's seat, and I was sitting in the driver's seat. And that was funny. And you know, then she sat there. We talked for about not even long, about 10, 15 minutes. And she's like on the lookout, you know, really like alert. She says, "Okay, I gotta go." She closed the door, and it's like just that fast. It just happened really quick. I'm thinking, what was that about? But security was looking for her, and they were going through because I could tell she didn't have a lot of money. I could tell, by the clothes she was wearing. It wasn't a skimpy little, outfit. It was ordinary clothes, but I could tell that she was trying to make some money. I don't know if there was a pimp, you know, after her or anything, but she didn't look like she was running from anybody, but trying not to get caught by security. But yeah, that was before all this, you know, child abduction really came to front and center. And I'll tell you a sad one though, that really, really, really touched me. And this pissed me off too, in more ways than one. This, again, I'm sitting in my truck, taking a break. I'm in Denver, waiting for a load. waiting for a load, right? And this girl comes knocking on the, because I'm parked on the side of the road. And this girl comes knocking on the passenger door. So I got out and, looked on the passenger door. And what she did, her face was beat up. She had like a black eye. You could tell her nose, someone punched in her nose. She had been bleeding. She was all ragged up. And she says, "Do you have $20?" And I looked at her, and the first thing I noticed was, like, my goodness, girl, you need to go to the hospital. Forget that $20. I didn't tell her that, but I was thinking, craziness, weather. Anyway, this girl, so, she's asking for $20. I told her, come on in. So she says, she was crying, and she says, I just need $20. That's all, and I'll leave you alone. I told her, what happened? And she says, you know, she just wanted, really nervous, please, do you have just $20? And she kept just asking for $20. And I'm like, who beat you up? And she says, and that, just when I pretty much said that, I noticed someone was like in the back of my, I didn't see them, but they were parked in the back of my truck, my trailer. And because some lady, this lady looked like a skeleton. I mean, she had very poor health. Her face looked like, you need to go and get something to eat, kind of. But you could tell it was like from drugs. You know what I mean? And I mean, Hollywood couldn't have come up with a crazier character than that one. And because I saw her in the mirror, and she's, she goes, so she like jumped in the back because this girl was terrified. She jumped in the back, and then I told her, don't worry about it. Nobody's going to hurt you in here. And, I just locked the doors. So I called the police. And now, as I'm talking to the police, I told her, there's a girl here that's, been beaten up, and, there's some people that are after her. And so they wanted to talk to the girl. So, I told her, here, because I called 911. So they talking to her. She didn't want to press charges because she was afraid. And so she gave me back the phone, and she was still terrified. And I told her, well, the police come in. She says, no. I said, why not? So I called back. I told her, why aren't you guys coming? She says, well, that girl doesn't want to press charges. There's nothing we can do. I'm like, are you kidding me? And so I'm like, I can't. And by this time, this skull-looking lady, we'll just call her Skull, uh, she comes up to my door, like pounding the door, calling, yelling out her name. Hurry up, telling all kinds of effing this and effing that. So I got, I rolled down my window. I says, what the hell are you doing? Stop knocking on my door like that. She says, where's that, have you seen that girl? No, I haven't seen anybody. And they knew I was lying because I was protecting the girl, but they knew I was, just told them I was lying because they saw her get in the truck. So, but they didn't see me. But anyway, and I told her, well, where do you live? And she says, she gave me the address, like about 2 or 3 miles from where I was in Denver. I told her, well, all right, I'll just take you home. And she was like crying. She was terrified because, again, she was still bleeding. The police didn't even want to come. And so I got in my truck, I started to take off. And then this car zoomed around in front of me, blocked me. And now I got this guy waving a gun at me. And that skull lady, she's showing me like a dagger and stuff, you know. And I told her, if you don't move your car, I'm going to run you over. Because she was like standing in front of the truck. And I just kept oozing up. She saw I wasn't going to stop. But then, I would have had to push the car out of the way, but so be it. And, and then, like, they finally moved the car. And I just took off. You know, I just got on the road. And that girl, she says, are they following us? Are they following us? I told her, I don't know. So I know Denver really well. So I just made some turns. How can you outrun a car in a semi, right? So I did it because, like I said, I know Denver really good. I used to live there for almost 30 years, 29 years. So I knew where I was going. And then once I got there, I got to her neighborhood. Okay, I told her, call your mom and tell her we're coming. And here I am in a residential area now. In my semi, I didn't care. I was just like big old semi, right? I drove right up to the front door, basically. And her mom came out and gave her a big hug and everything. I thought, okay, that's her mom, right? Because I could tell. The girl was probably only like about 14 years old. She was a young girl. And so then I thought, okay, at least she's with her mom. I'm sure they know where she lives and stuff. As soon as she goes out, they're going to find her again. But she didn't want to press charges. There's nothing I could do. So, okay, I'm going from Denver to California, back to Carson. I'm going through the mountains. And I had a load on me, like 80,000 pounds of frozen meat or something. I don't know what it was, but I'm driving and going through the Rockies, there's a lot of, you go downhill, uphill, and turns and stuff. So I stopped to take a break at this little town. And I went inside, ate lunch, and came back. My front tire was flat. I thought, the tires were like new tires. Like, how did that tire go flat while I was on the road? What that girl did with the dagger, she stabbed the tire. It didn't flatten right away, but it put it with enough a tiny hole so it would leak. Thing is, I'm driving through the mountains 75, 80 miles an hour. Okay, 75 miles an hour. That tire could have blown and I would have been all over the place. And, I had to call my dispatcher then. They got mad at me and said, how did you end up, because that's like $1,000 right there just for the tire alone. They changed that. I didn't tell my boss, that's our company driver. I didn't tell him. No way. I could tell him I had a girl in here that was running for her life and stuff. Because then I would have been fired because we weren't allowed to get anybody in the truck. So I just kept quiet. But I knew it was that lady, that skull lady that had the knife, waving the knife at me. But see, and then like 3, 4, 5 years later, that's when I started hearing a lot about child trafficking and stuff. Why didn't the police? I mean, I had one in my passenger seat that was running for her life, and they didn't even want to listen to me. Now they would listen to me, but this was like probably 10 years or something like that. But yeah, that was crazy. That was really it broke my heart because I seen that firsthand. And everybody has these different stories. Some of them are funny, some of them are wild, and some are just like unbelievable. That one was, I still remember it. I still remember that girl. They were, I'm sure they were drugging her up and raping her and beating her up, making her, because she was, like I said, she had to be like about 14 years old. And she looked very pretty. She was like a Spanish girl, like from Mexico or something. And she was very pretty. So they were using her for that. And that's what these people will do. They don't care. They're horrible. But anyway, that's, one of my trucker stories that unfortunately it's hard to forget stuff like that. But I stay safe, and nobody's really done anything to me. Well, kind of. They have. I don't want to go there. Um, they've done some pretty stupid stuff, you know. And that's not that's my fault either. But I'm just cautious out here. Okay, I'll tell you one little one. I stopped at this truck stop at Kansas City, and I'm like about see those trucks, that guy that just got in the truck. I'm like in the second row, like I am now actually. See, yeah, I'm like about that far. You can see the building there. I'm like about that far from the store, just like I am now, right? I walked in there, and the guy, cashier, he was so cool. He was so cool, and laughing, joking, and flirting and everything. And I came back to my truck, and this one guy, he followed me, and now he's like lurking around my truck. This is a long time ago when I kind of first started being over the road. And I just locked the doors. We didn't even have the covers on yet, we didn't have that. But now he's just like creeping me out, you know what I mean? Trying to get me to, sure, come on, like, I don't know how they do it. That is so creepy. But it was like really disgusting. Like, get the heck out of here. And I'm no hero. I'm anything but a hero. I'm not a hero. Anyway, there's some trucker stories I tell you. And yeah. I'm glad this worked out, this thing here. Um, thing is, like I said, I can't do no, what do you call them, wrenches on this. So if you guys want a wrench, I'm not going to be able to do it because I'm on StreamYard. And not to mention, this is a different time of day. It's over here, it's 4:50. And yeah, sure. That's where you're at. You're down the road from me. So what kind of truck do you drive, Amazon? And if there's anybody else in here, I don't see you. I think that's just you. 2-4. I don't know if 2-4 is still here. I hope so. And because sometimes my thing goes 0, and you guys, I still see answers coming. So I don't believe that little eyeball with a number on it. Anyway, yeah, there's some. I was going to tell you another story, but I'll save that for another time. Get out of here, fly. I don't like flies. I drive a Ford Escape. Okay. You, is that Uber you drive, or, because a Ford Escape is a car, I know. Is that an Uber you played? I know that's not a semi. But who are you escaping from? Chevy? I'm a Chevy person. I even got a Chevy hat. So anyway, yeah. So I even put on makeup, but my glasses kind of cover it up. And yeah, I just have this on because I have, my tank top. But that's a little more appropriate if I just keep this on here. And little Abigail, she doesn't want to eat her food, but she's getting more tubby and tubby. I don't know. I'm not a person and an overdriver. Just a dude who found your channel randomly. Oh, okay. Well, thanks for coming in. Um, should I call you just the dude? Um, yeah, I have. I was looking at some of the things last night because my battery went dead last night, and I didn't. I got the warning messages, but I kept going on, and I forgot, and all of a sudden the battery just. And so then, oh hi Alex. Anyway, so I plugged it in, charged it up, and I got back on, and there was only one person on, still waiting for me. And I told him, I'm sorry, I gotta end it now because my battery's dead. Because I know it's gonna die again. So that's why I put video makes sudden stops. Okay, turned on his truck next to me, that one right there. I know it's him because there's loud in my ear. But I forgot what I was saying. And anyway, what was I saying? I don't know. I could even post a comment. Let me see. I'm going to put. I'm putting something. I don't know if you can still see me or not, but thanks for watching. Remember to. Okay. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, I guess that's it. Put it. Yep, there it is. See, I can't even comment on this. So cool. Okay, I need to head out to dinner now, but can't wait for more stories next time. Yeah, I'll tell you some stories every now and then. But as you know, I'm a warrior of light, an illustrator, and a trucker. So, and fascinating stuff. And I put thanks for watching. Remember not to forget, like and Sabine. And I'm going to take off too myself. So, thanks for coming in, everybody. And like I said, thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.